Well, hello. I haven't been live for a while. You've probably been wondering where I've been. Well, this is Amanda here from Italy, and I've been on a nearly month, 3 weeks trip to South Africa. If you've been watching my lives, you probably saw some of the gorgeous pictures from the Cape wine farm where I was and my travels in South Africa. If you didn't know I was away and you haven't watched my lives, well, it just means you've got more stuff to watch. So, if you're joining us tonight and you're new here, my name is Amanda. This is coming to you from my kitchen table. It's hot as hell here in Italy. Nothing's changed. It was 42 degrees before I went away on my trip. It's 32 degrees tonight. It's still super hot. I'm hot as a snake's belly, but I'm happy to be here. And if you're joining us, won't you just drop your name down in the text box on the right there, and then I can greet you, say hello, and we can have a good old chat. And you can tell me what you think, which is important. So, my co-presenters, I always have co-presenters. My co-presenters tonight are casting a little shadow on me because I don't have a ring light. I just have the kitchen. Are these magnificent lilies that are casting the most beautiful perfume. I mean, some people find lilies a bit heavy. I just think lilies are the best thing since sliced bread, and I can't get enough of them. And I have these limelight hydrangeas also, which are a feature of my garden. But look at these beautiful lilies. Aren't they gorgeous? So those are my co-presenters here tonight. The lilies and the hydrangeas. So I can pretty much push that out of the way so that you can see. Well, I don't know if you're ever going to be able to see on that side. Yeah, that's better. Then I'm not having a shadow across my face. So if you're joining us, drop your name down so I can greet you. Tell me which city you're joining us from. I'm coming to you from Como in Italy, Lake Como near Milan, if you know Italy at all. And if you follow me regularly, welcome back. And if you're new here, it's lovely to have you. My name's Amanda. I do a live vlog from Italy most Saturdays or Sundays. I think in the future it's going to be Sunday night because it seems to be an easier night for everybody. I have people join from all over the place: New York, California, Italy, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, UK, Ireland. Have a regular Anne from Ireland. I hope Anne joins us tonight. Oh, this lily is too divine. And there's gonna be bubbles tonight. Yes, bubbles. So what are we celebrating? Well, you're gonna have to hang around. I'm just gonna pour this. So I don't know what you're having to drink tonight, but whether it's tea, coffee, some champagne, or some lovely wine, or whatever you like to drink, fruit juice, water, whatever it is, pour yourself a glass because we're about to have a good chat. So before we get into tonight's vlog, won't you please subscribe if you haven't already, if you like what you see, of course, and please like the video right now because I don't know, about 80% of people on all YouTube videos just forget to like the video. And it does make a big difference because in terms of YouTube choosing which videos of mine they show out or suggest to people depends on how many likes and what engagement. So when you leave a comment or a like or you subscribe, it really does make a difference to me and everybody that you follow, not only me. So thank you in advance for all your likes, for your comments. I really like to know what you want to see, what you want to cover. We've got a new season upcoming. So I talk about perfume, obviously, but I talk about lifestyle in Italy. And tonight's a particular celebration that I have in Italy. So stay tuned if you're interested in Italian life or just traveling in general. And perfume, of course, and just being a person in the world. We're going to cover it all. Traveling, flying. I've got an upcoming review stroke vlog on how my flight was, my long haul flight out to South Africa. So if you're interested in flying and you want to know all about that, keep with us. Okay, so chin chin, here we go. If you're going to watch this back later, welcome back. Lovely to have you. And let's get started right now. So this gorgeous bottle of bubbles. What's it all about? What's it all about? So for those of you who are new to me, you may not know this. For those of you who've been watching me for a long time, you probably know that I've been living in Italy for some time. I've been vlogging from Italy for the past, I think, year and a half. I started this vlog and it's done quite well. I'd like it to do even better, so you can be part of that. And thank you for all of you who contribute. And these lovely lilies are giving me sustenance tonight as my co-hosts. So I've been living in Italy for about 20 years. It seems an awful long time, but I'm not 20 years old. So I had a life before I came to Italy. I was an adult already. My children were raised because I had them young. And so I started life again in Italy. In fact, I'll have to vlog one day on how I came to be in Italy. But the long story short is I came to look after a friend's villa. He had international diplomatic guests coming to his villa in Tuscany, and he wanted somebody who could speak English. Believe it or not, I speak English quite well. It's my language. In those days, I couldn't speak Italian very well, but I literally had to manage the staff, and that was a huge challenge. I don't know how I did it, but I got away with it. Let's put it that way. And yeah, and so 6 months later, that all went okay. And I had this gorgeous little house looking over the hills, looking onto Florence in Tuscany. And he said to me, are you going to go back to London? What are you going to do? Water, always water when it's so hot. And I said, I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking about it. And as it turned out, I'll make this story very short because I'm going to do a vlog on it. I moved to a little town called Lucca, which you're probably very familiar with. Lucca is in the province of Lucca in Sicilia in Tuscany, and started a whole new life. And long story short, I now live in the province. Well, I live in Lombardia, which is up in the north, and I live in the province of Como, near Lake Como, which is rather famous, as you probably have heard, and near Milan. And I've been working into Milan for many a year. Okay. So that's the background of my life. I renovated this house that you usually see me vlog from some time ago. Right now, you're in my kitchen. I don't know what you can see. You can probably see the wall with some of my copper things and my plates or whatever. But this is the kitchen. Generally, I'm upstairs in my studio, but tonight I'm here just because it's hot and because it's convenient. Convenience is king. And yeah, so that's my Italian story. And I've kind of come to Italy's now my home. I speak fluent Italian, for those of you who want to know. And if you have any questions that you want to put to me down there, if you're thinking that maybe you have ancestors who are Italian and you'd rather like to, I don't know, maybe come and spend some time in Italy. Just about everybody I know loves Italy and wants to live here at some stage of their life. If I can be of any use to you and I can be helpful to you and you have some questions to put to me, please drop them down in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them if I can. So yes, so I started working right from the beginning. I was on a British passport, so just had to get what they call a carta or permesso, a work visa. So I did that, and yeah, and really been doing that for many years. And then, started my own little consultancy, and so life went on. And the reason that I started this particular vlog, because I had one before based on just lifestyle wine and Tuscan life and all sorts. It's a whole mixture. It's another channel. I'll link it there if you're interested. But anyway, this particular vlog was started during lockdown because it was crazy and we were keeping ourselves occupied. And it started as a conversation with my readers and my listeners more than readers. And it went from there. And my Italian vintage perfume collection was the reason for that. So that's how I came to be vlogging in this particular period of my life. So good. So what happened from that was I continued to renovate my house, which is, by the way, 300 years old. You've probably in some of my photos seen the beams and the huge old walls and the fireplace and whatever. And I would love to, in future editions, if you're interested, to give you some updates on how that's gone, my renovations. And so it's been like this for quite a few years. And yeah, so this is my life here in Italy. Everything I need is around me. I live in the historical center of a village in the province of Como. It's all very civilized. I have good moments and bad moments, but generally, I think I've adapted very well to living in Italy. And as I say, I speak fluent Italian, so most of my days spent in Italian. Yeah. And so what happened was Brexit came about, whenever that was. I don't know, was that 4 years ago or 3 years ago? I've lost count. And before Brexit happened, I thought about it because I had been here long enough that I could apply for Italian citizenship in my own right, not through marriage, in my own right, as a naturalized person who'd been living here, paying tax and contributing for, well, at that stage, I think 16 years. And so I got together all my bits and pieces of paper, birth certificate. It was a huge thing. You needed, your criminal record for every town, or let's say every country you'd lived in. For me, that was 3. I'd lived in 3 countries up to that point. And yeah, in my career. And so I got all of that stuff together. It was cost a fortune to put it all together. And it was hard going because, you would chat to people along the way and they'd say, oh, I just gave up. It was just too much bureaucracy. I couldn't take it anymore. Anyway, something sort of pulled me forward and I kept going and I kept going. Got all these documents. They all have to be less than 6 months old or they expire. So you have to be sure that you're going to get them all in the same period. Okay, so I did all of that, went to Rome, had them all verified, had them all stamped and translated. Even your birth certificate has to be translated into Italian, even though it just says the place you were born and your parents. Anyway, all of that was done. Did all of that and then came back and uploaded the stuff, which took a whole weekend for me. I literally was dug in. I was sweating. It was tough. And there were moments when it would freeze and you'd think, oh God, I've got to start all over again to upload all this stuff onto the portal. It's all got to be done in a certain way. It's very unforgiving. You can't sort of save it and then think, oh, well, I'll put that out, I'll take that off. No. So anyway, cut a very long story short, I finally got to the point where I worked out exactly which buttons to press, uploaded all my documents in the right scanning format, and finally pressed that button that said send. And I submitted that application in July 2018, 4 years ago, a long time ago. Subsequently, we had a change of Italian government, and they made the waiting period between the time when you request citizenship and the time when you're granted citizenship, instead of as it was then, which was a sort of rolling margin of 2 years to 3 years, they made it an official 4 years. And they made it a little bit tighter in terms of who could apply, because Salvini made a law, as happens in Italian politics, that you had to fulfill certain requirements. And one of those requirements were that if you were European Union, which I was, we hadn't Brexited yet, you had to have been living here, I think it was 4 years or 5 years, if I'm not mistaken, and 10 years if you were not European Union, before you could even apply. And then you had to wait 4 years. So it was a long road, and many people gave up. So anyway, long story short, I submitted this all, kind of forgot about it the first year, and then the Salvini law came in and it was extended. And subsequently, Salvini's law, as happens often in Italy, was cancelled, for want of a better word. The law was revoked. It didn't exist anymore. But unfortunately, as quite often happens with Italian bureaucracy, it wasn't retroactive. So those who were lucky enough that they hadn't yet submitted their applications could submit it under the new jurisdiction. And those unfortunate souls like me that submitted during that year when Salvini made that new law, well, we sat because it wasn't retroactive. So we had to wait out the whole 4 years. So in fact, in reality, people that applied after me got their citizenship at the same time as me, or even before me, because it was made into a shorter time period. Anyway, if you have any questions about this and you want to know, you can drop them down for me when you watch this back. I don't put them in the chat box now, because it's just easier to answer them in the comments and other people can benefit from them. But I would like you to write perhaps your name and which city you're watching from, so I can get a good idea of the demographics. So anyway, yeah, so it was a good 4 years, and I sat and waited, and 4 years passed. We went through COVID. Everybody said, oh, nothing's going to happen for 9 months. Nobody's going to be granted their citizenship because all the comunes and all the offices were closed. And so it was. I mean, you couldn't even go to your municipal offices or to see the mayor, whoever, because it was all closed. It was all by appointment. Can't see. Oh, there's Danny. Oh, hello, lovely. Hi. So I'm just telling the story of why I'm celebrating tonight. Danny's joining us from Toronto. I already know that, from Canada. So anyway, yeah, so this happened, and that's how it was. And I just thought, I'm not giving up. I'm not going to listen to all the naysayers. I just got on with my life. And about maybe 3 or so months ago, when my allotted time was up, my nearly 5 years, by the way, since I submitted this application, I was going to South Africa, which I've just done for 3 weeks. You can look back in my shorts if you want to see some South African footage. And so I went to the mayor and I said, look, haven't heard anything back yet from the prefecture. I really want to know what's happening. Hi, Amanda, I missed you. I can't believe I caught you live. It's been so long. Hi, Maya. Lovely. Lovely to see you. I think Maya's from, she'll have to tell us. I know it's in Eastern Europe and I can't remember. Anyway, so I went to South Africa, but before I went to the mayor and I said, oh, by the way, it's from Romania. Yeah, Mia's from Romania. So I said to him, look, I'm going to be away for, I don't know, to see my son who's having waiting for a kidney transplant and is quite ill. Haven't been able to see him the whole of COVID. So I'm going to be away for 3 weeks, but I'm a little concerned that you may try and contact me while I'm away and you won't find anybody at home because I'll be away. And so he said, don't worry about that. You write me a little letter and I'll also give it to the people who do all the demographics, what is called the anagrafa in Italian, in the in the commune or the municipality, you write that note for me. So I did, and he obviously passed it on to them. Anyway, to cut a very long story short, I'm not going to talk about my trip because that's the subject of my next vlog. I got back via Amsterdam, absolutely exhausted with my suitcase, opened the door, put the suitcases down, and saw this little postcard that had come under the door while I was away. And it literally just said, please report to the commune, which is our form of municipality, as soon as you return. Or it just said, whenever you can. Anyway, so the very next morning, so I sat looking at this little green card for ages thinking, I wonder if this is it. I wonder if this is it. I wonder if this is it. Anyway, to cut a long story short, and to not keep you in suspense, the very next morning I trundled down to the commune, which is a 5-minute walk from my house, went in there, saw the guy who does all the protocols, gave it to him, and he said, yes, this was me. I was at your house yesterday. So I said, well, great, here I am, like magic. And he said, yes, it's about your citizenship. It's been granted. And I literally turned into jelly. I became like a 2-year-old who'd been told that they could raid a sweet shop. I thought, wow, just like that, it just happened. I thought it would be long and winding. They'd ask for more documents. They'd ask for my last, most recent years of tax, because I only sent them the 4 years before, whatever. So I said, are you sure? And he said, yeah, I'm really sure. So anyway, he stamped and whatever. I had to go down to the shop and buy what they call in Italian a bollo stamp, which is like the revenue stamp that you need for any legal document in Italy. 16 euro. Took that back to them. They put it on and she stamped it, and I still had nothing in my hand. So she said, we'll call you. So I thought, okay, great. So I sat pregnantly waiting for this call. I'm going to have a little bit of bubbles here. Chin chin. I sat waiting for this call with bated breath, just come back from my holiday. I thought, what on earth? When are they going to call me? It could be 3 weeks. It could be 2 months. They didn't say when. Obviously, they never do. And I thought, oh, gosh, when is this going to happen? Anyway, to cut a long story short, I went along to the grocery shop to get something in because the fridge was bare. The cupboards were bare. There was nothing to eat. I'd been away for nearly a month. And while I was in the supermarket, as always happens, I had a little purse inside my bigger bag that I was going to carry the groceries in. And I sort of heard, because I was at the till, that my phone was ringing. So I was scuttling around trying to get this little purse open and get the phone out before it stopped ringing. And anyway, I got them just in time. And I said, hello. And they said, it's the commune. And I said, oh, great. I was breathless because I thought, oh, my God, they actually did phone me back. And they said, so when are you free this week? And I'm not used to this sort of officialdom asking when you're free. They never ask you when you're free. They just tell you, you've got to be there on that date at that time, end of story. The fact that they were asking me when I was free was just... it just completely fried my brain. So I said, anytime, whenever, when. So I had half a mind to say Saturday because perhaps a friend could go along and accompany me and they wouldn't be all working. It was now, I don't know, I think Monday or Tuesday that this happened. Tuesday it happened. I got back on Monday night. Anyway, so she said, how about Thursday at 3 o'clock? Well, she didn't say how about, because that would be non-Italian. She said Thursday at 3 o'clock, va bene? And I said, okay, yeah, okay, Thursday. And then I had to sort of call her back and check that she actually did say Thursday at 3 o'clock, because I suddenly had a panic. And I thought, oh, God, did she mean next Thursday? I don't know. So I had to phone them back. It was a horrendous line. Nobody could find who the person was that I spoke to. So it was a big mess. And I didn't get an answer. Anyway, so I went home and I was literally skipping home with these heavy groceries. So we went skipping home. And I thought, my goodness, is this going to be the end of this long pregnant wait that I've had? And so, yeah. Anyway, so I just sort of told my 2, 3 dearest friends and my family. And they said, "Oh, that's so exciting. I'm so thrilled for you." And then I started to get that paranoid thing that you think, "Oh God, have I jumped the gun? Maybe they just want to ask me for some other documents." I don't know what I was thinking, but I was panicking in the most stupid way. I don't know if you've ever panicked about doing some legal thing, but that's how it is. You have to dot all your I's, make sure that they understand all the documents. I don't know, anything can go wrong. As they say in Scottish, there's many a slip between cup and lip. Anyway, yesterday night I couldn't sleep. I was beyond excited. I don't know what you would call the emotion that's excited, terrified. It was like when I got married all those years ago. I had butterflies in my tummy. My heart was beating 25 to the dozen. I could barely breathe. I kept catching my breath. It doesn't help that it's 32 degrees here, but I'm not complaining. That's 32 Celsius, because before I went away, it was literally 42 Celsius, and I was ready to jump off a building. That's how bad it was. So 32 I can cope with. 42 was unbelievable. But anyway, I was lying in bed, unable to sleep, just sort of watched the movie. I watched the Gucci movie, which is fantastic. If you've watched it, let me know. So I watched that. That killed 2 hours. And then I thought, oh my goodness. I literally, as we used to say as children, I had ants in my pants. I literally could not settle. Anyway, the morning arrived. I made my tea. I got up and I thought, this is the day. This is the day. This is the day. This is the day. I went and had a lovely bath. I went and put on my favorite perfume. I bet you want to know what that is. My long time signature scent. Drop down in the comments later, not right now, later, and tell me if you know what I put on. Put on a red dress because I thought it's dynamic. I'm still in the same dress. And so I was to be there at 3:00. So a dear friend sent me a bouquet of flowers, which I took with me. And I walked down. It was about 5 minutes. Literally, that hour before the moment, I literally had butterflies. I was so nervous. I was sort of pacing up and down. I don't know what I thought was going to happen to me, but literally my heart was palpitating. I couldn't cope. And yeah, I mean, that was the glorious moment, because the actual bureaucratic part wasn't that exciting, but the lead up to that, the anticipation of that, was unbelievable. Anyway, let me have a sip so I can just get through this. So what happened was, I go in there and I find out that I'm not the only one, and that the mayor, who faithfully said that he would do my ceremony, while he doesn't seem to be there, the assistant mayor is there, and there's 6 other people who are being sworn in the same day as me, probably because they've been saving them up during COVID. And it's August, so just about the whole of Italy is on holiday. I mean, I was surprised that the Comune was even functioning. I mean, I was, let's say, amazed that they actually wrote to me so quickly, because you normally have to wait for September to kick in before they will, do anything. Certainly anything that involves officialdom. So anyway, we all go upstairs. We do our swearing in. We had to read this oath, which said, I promise to be faithful to Italy and to the Constitution, and to abide by all her laws. Quite an emotional oath I had to read, with the Italian flag. And then the mayor with her beautiful banner. I will post some photos on Instagram. Can't post them here because I'm live. Congratulated me on my citizenship, and I'd done the swearing in oath, and it was a great moment, and everybody clapped, and it was so nice. And in a way, it was kind of nice that there were other people being sworn in, and we all had our own individual photos, which was quite sweet. And then we all went downstairs and unpacked our birth certificates or whatever they wanted from us. And next week, I will get my new Italian ID card. So there we are. That is the big reveal. That's the big celebration. I have Italian citizenship after 20 years of living here. So what do you think about that? I want to know in the comments. Oh, hi. So there we are. What do you think about the fact that I now have Italian citizenship? I want to hear from you. Let me know. Let me know if you've ever applied for citizenship apart from your birth citizenship, obviously. So that's the big reveal. And I'm drinking a toast here with you tonight on my citizenship, which was long and winding, but in the end is done. And I will have the ability to get an Italian passport within a month. I mean, I have a current passport. I don't particularly need it urgently, but I have that ability, and I'll have an Italian ID card. And you may say, what's the difference? I mean, why isn't a British passport sufficient? And I would say that, yeah, my British passport has been sufficient for most of my life, but after Brexit, we don't have freedom of movement in Europe anymore. What does freedom of movement mean? It means that you can move to, work in, or conduct meetings or stay as long as you like, as long as you register as a resident, if you want to be a resident, in any European country that's part of the Schengen zone. So basically, my Italian citizenship allows me, which I lost with Brexit. Most people don't understand the consequences of Brexit, which I lost when England Brexited, the ability to have freedom of movement in Europe. I love the Gucci movie. Oh, there seems to be a huge delay here. I pretty much spoke about the Gucci movie some time ago. But anyway, yeah, so that's what it allows me. I'm able to move into Europe and do work in Europe, which I've done over the past goodness knows how many years. So it'll be nice that I won't lose that ability. And so let's drink a toast to European citizenship and Italian citizenship. And as I mentioned, if you're Italian or you have Italian roots or your grandparents were Italian and you'd like to know what to do, I'm not a legal person. I'm not running a sort of visa service or anything, so please don't misunderstand me. But if I can answer a simple question and point you in the right direction, I'm more than happy to do that. And if you watch this back and you want to write down in the comments to me a question, I'll do my best to answer it. So there we are. Amanda here from Italy. Lovely to have you guys joining me. Oh, cheers. Cheers. Yeah, lovely. So I guess you guys, my darling live audience, most of whom are regular faithfuls, even though I haven't been on for a few weeks, thanks for sticking with me. Why don't you drop down the comments? Let me know, apart from what you think of my great news, let me know what you're wearing tonight. That's what I want to hear from you. And I guess I'd really like to know if you can guess my signature. I'm waiting. Oh, this is such a great champagne. It's lovely. Let me know. And if you're new here, you'll get used to us. We swap war stories. We swap perfume stories. We, honestly, don't we? We have such fun. Usually on a Saturday night from Italy. But I guess in the future, I'll make an announcement if it's Sunday. Aromatic said, how did Mary, you guessed it. Yeah, I wore that today for my special celebration, my clinique, and yeah, a couple of people commented on it. It just kind of suits my skin. It doesn't suit everybody's. Well done, you're wide awake. Now I want to know what you guys are wearing and what you think of my great news. Chin chin. Gosh, it's hot. I mean, I do not know how I'm coping. Luckily, this is just a thin silk, peach silk dress, so it isn't that hot, thank God. But yeah, I guess tomorrow maybe it will be even hotter. It might be 33. So I'm not looking forward to that. But I'm just delighted that I had those 3 weeks away from the heat where it was lovely. It was 22, 23, 25. Look at my co-presenters, these beautiful lilies. How many of you love lily? I love lily in a fragrance. That's probably why I like aromatique. It's a bunch of different flowers. I love grey, Madame, because that has lily. I love basically anything with lily in it. The more lily they can cram in, the better for me. Danny, I am wearing, let's bring this a little closer. I'm wearing Molinard Vanilla. Oh, I love patchouli and more than happy for you. Chin chin. Chin chin. Good. Wonderful. There we are. Our stream seems to have frozen. I don't know. There was a little freeze there. I don't know what happened. And then Mia says, congratulations. Thank you. Thank you all. It's lovely to celebrate with you and to be back vlogging. And I'm going to do a regular weekly live, possibly on a Sunday. It seems to be a night when more people are free than Saturday, which is quite often date night or night to go out to dinner. So I'm going to change to Sunday. And generally it's 9:30, but possibly because winter's upcoming and most people go to bed early in Europe, I might make it 8 o'clock, but we'll put it up to the vote. Okay. So anyway, drop down in the comments if you came in late and you want to watch this back from the beginning and hear the whole story of my journey in Italy and my whole journey of living here. And see you soon on the next one, because we seem to be having the internet, or at least YouTube seems to be slowing down. So drop down in the comments, let me know what you think, whether you'd like to visit Italy, have visited Italy, have Italian connections, what you think of my journey, if you have any questions, and just whatever you want to say. I'm ready to hear it. Saturday is great. Okay. Sunday is great, Danny says. Okay, so I'm going to leave you guys. Love you. Bye for now. Don't forget to drop down in the comments. Please leave me a comment, even if you participated on here, because it makes a big difference. Please go up right now and like the video if you haven't already, and subscribe. And why don't you make a suggestion to a friend who might be interested in Italy and lifestyle or whatever, not necessarily perfume. Love you guys. Thanks for joining me around the world. It's so lovely to hear everybody again. And I wish you a lovely weekend upcoming. See you on Instagram and see you on the next one. Bye, friends. Bye now. Bye. Bye from Italy. Bye. 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 Bye.